It's now the trial of former US President Donald Trump heating up over there in the States. Stormy Daniels, apparently it's difficult to control Stormy Daniels making a string of sexual assault claims as well, all causing a series of objections from his defence. The fiery hush money trial is not over yet, as the porn star looks to face more cross-examination from the former president's lawyers. Let's speak to Laurie Laird, US political commentator. Laurie, how are you doing?
Hey, Ian, how are you?
Very good. So hang on, is Trump in court himself at the moment listening to all of this, or just his lawyers?
Today is his day off, but he does have to attend every day of the trial, and this could stretch on for another 3, 4, 5 weeks. So it does get in the way of his, let's say, conventional campaigning, although he has managed to use this trial as a bit of a campaign device. But I'm thinking, after what happened yesterday, I'm not quite sure this is going to work in his favor. You remember, we had some crazy statements from Stormy Daniels, very explicit statements to the point where the judge said, I think something should be left unsaid.
Well, did I hear this as just gossip, or was this actually said, that Mr. Trump back then liked nothing better than to be spanked with a magazine with his face on the front of it?
From the court transcripts, I only saw that he liked, or Stormy Daniels had smacked him on the bottom with a rolled up magazine. Now, what magazine it was, not entirely clear. I like your interpretation of it.
Maybe somebody just added
comedy value.
Well, the comedy value is, yes.
Well, come on, we were wondering, though, what magazine was it? Because it's different if it's something with his face on it than, say, The Economist, right?
Well, indeed,
different,
yes.
different attitude there.
Absolutely, yeah. Perish the thought that it was the Washington Post or a fine, upstanding, central journalist thinking organ like that. Listen, I mean, in terms of where this goes, because there's a lot of suggestion, and not completely unreasonably, that, this is a very politicised court case. In some states, it would never have reached a court, but it did there. They've got a jury that they're happy with, but there is a sense that everybody from the head honchos in the legal department to the judge are likely to be unsympathetic to Mr. Trump. Is that true?
Well, look, there are a couple of things going on here, but let's start with that jury. There are about 6 people in Manhattan who voted for Donald Trump. So to get any kind of balance in terms of Trump supporters or Trump people who supported Biden, there's no way you're going to get that balance in a Manhattan jury. Just not going to happen. But I think if you look at the court case, I think there's some really interesting question here. Of the 4 court cases that are working their way through, although we found out yesterday that the one where he had held on to documents, the judge has postponed that one indefinitely. So we've got 3 that are sort of unfolding. To my mind, this is the weakest case. It's the weakest case by a long way. And in fact, there's been a lot of anonymous reporting that Alvin Bragg, the prosecutor, didn't want to bring this case at all. But what it turns on is we're talking about falsifying business expenses. Now, Donald Trump, we know that money went from someone close to Donald Trump to Stormy Daniels, right? That's not illegal. Whether he slept with her or not, he's denying it. That's not illegal either. What's on trial here is how that payment was accounted for. Now, if it was done illegitimately, that's a misdemeanor. It's not a felony. Yeah. What's stretching things here is that becomes a felony only if it's used to cover up another crime. Now, the speculation is that the prosecutor is trying to bring in electoral law, violations of electoral law. Here's the snag. Electoral law is federal. He's being tried in state court. Yeah. You can't really mix and match these things. This is a real experiment. And a lot of legal scholars, whether they like Trump or not, are a little concerned about whether this case should have got this far.
Indeed. It's not illegal to give somebody $100,000 if you say, look, we had a thing. We don't want that coming out. Here's $100,000. Sign this. Keep quiet. That's not illegal.
Absolutely.
It's where the money came from is the kind of wider question.
And how it was accounted for in the first instance. That's the falsifying business expenses.
Of course.
Now, was that an illegal campaign contribution? Who knows? But again, federal law, it's very difficult to combine these things. Yeah. To be honest, I'm a little surprised this has got this far.
I agree, and I cannot see this going anywhere, frankly. Listen, Laurie, we will speak again, and maybe it's about that magazine. We'll establish what was on the front cover. Laurie Laird, US political commentator, with us.